and gents, what we need to do now is we need to write down, just as a reference point, what we are doing while we are reading. So at the top of your article, let's write a few questions down. Lincoln as a hero. And last but not least, I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to write below here. How might you use some of this information in the essay? Okay, now the reason why I had you grab that highlighter has to deal with how we're going to read the article and how we're going to read the poem. Okay, these two pieces of information were written at a very different time. So will you understand every single word and every single thought that the author presents? No, but that's not your goal. Your goal isn't to be able to read the article and spit out the main idea for me and spit out answers to every single question under the sun. What I want you really focusing in on is highlighting the following information. And I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to start writing below. Highlight any textual evidence, that's what TE stands for. Highlight any textual evidence that reveals Lincoln as a hero. So you might be looking for function strategy, negation strategy. Maybe you'll see example strategies show up here. Let's go ahead and start reading this article. The White House Funeral Sermon for Abraham Lincoln by Dr. Phineas B. Gurley. Gurley. He is dead, but the God in whom Lincoln trusted lives, and God can guide and strengthen his successor as God guided and strengthened him. Lincoln is dead, but the memory of his virtues, of his wise and patriotic counsels and labors, of his calm and steady faith in God lives, is precious and will be a powerful good in the country quite down to the end of time. He is dead, but the cause he so ardently loved, so ably, patiently, faithfully represented and defended, not for himself only, not for us only, but for all people in all their coming generations, till time shall be no more, that cause survives its fall, and will survive it. The light of its brightening prospect flashes cheeringly today athwart the gloom occasioned by his death, and the language of God's united providences is telling us that, though the friends of liberty die, liberty itself is immortal. There is no assassin strong enough, and no weapon deadly enough to quench its inextinguishable life or arrest its onward march to the conquest and empire of the world. This is our confidence, and this is our consolation, as we weep and mourn today. Though our beloved president is slain, our beloved country is saved. And so we sing of mercy as well as of judgment. Tears of gratitude mingle with those of sorrow. While there is a darkness, there is also the dawning of a brighter, happier day upon our stricken and weary land. God be praised that our fallen chief lived long enough to see the day dawn and the day star of joy and peace arise upon the nation. He saw it, and he was glad. Alas, he only saw the dawn. When the sun has risen, full-orbed and glorious, and a happy, reunited people are rejoicing in its light, alas, it will shine upon his grave. But that grave will be a precious and consecrated spot. The friends of liberty and of the Union will repair to it in years and ages to come, to pronounce the memory of its occupants rest, and, gathering from his very ashes, and from the rehearsal of his deeds and virtues, fresh incentives to patriotism, they will there renew their vows of fidelity to their country and their God. Okay, something I definitely want you to make sure that you pulled out from this particular piece as evidence regarding Lincoln being a hero, There's a very great negation strategy that was given by Dr. Gurley. So hard not to giggle at that, I'm sorry. It's about the 5th or 6th line down. I'm really hoping you highlighted that negation strategy. The author refers to Abe completing a task not for himself, not only for one group, but for a massive group and generations to live. That's something I definitely want you to make sure that you've got. All right, well, we've got a couple of kid cues that we're going to read through and we're going to answer. They're not too difficult, but I just want to make sure you folks are on the right track with them. So we've got 1 and 2. We've got 1 and 2. Can you read that first kid cue for us, Sydney?
Notice what Dr. Gurley connects with his man with the cause of his butler. What are those causes?
Okay, what were the 2 major causes that Lincoln was fighting for and hoping to secure during the Civil War? Which one, Dan?
The Union, to help the other.
Right, he wanted to preserve the Union. He wanted the states to be united. So we can write down he wanted to preserve the nation, keep the nation from secession. What was a second goal or a second cause for Lincoln? It may not have initially been something he wanted, but he had it happen. What do you think, Zach? Yep. Freedom for all men. Ladies, we weren't being a part of that discussion, unfortunately, at that time. Sad, but true. All right, so that's going to take us to our second kid cue. Go ahead and read that second one for us, please, Destiny.
How does Lincoln connect? How does Lincoln's connection to liberty make him heroic?
All right, let's actually figure out where the connection lies, just to make sure we're on the right track. Liberty. What does liberty mean? I'm hearing it. Yes, wave hand. Kevin said freedom, and I absolutely believe that. Liberty is freedom. So how do Lincoln and the idea of liberty tie together? What did these 2 ideas create? How did the topic of freedom come up when you think of Lincoln? What did he do to make that topic be a part of his name forever? Joseph? Yeah, simply, he freed the slaves. He freed men. So that's going to bring us to our next question. Here's our question in blue. How does Lincoln's creation of freedom make him a hero? We all know that, hey, Lincoln's a hero because he freed people, but why? Why does that make him a hero? Go ahead and answer that question. How does Lincoln's creation of freedom make him a hero? The idea of liberty for all men.